resources and economy. The mid-Atlantic colonies, or the middle colonies, had many natural resources at hand. The most important one was fertile soil. With rich soil and a mild climate, they became successful farmers. They grew grains like wheat, barley, and rye. These grains are made into bread, and that's why the middle colonies became known as the breadbasket colonies. So they had the perfect soil, they had the perfect resources, they had the perfect climate for farming. And wheat and barley and rye, those things that we use to make bread, were the top priority. There were many forests and trees in the nearby Appalachian Mountains. The timber from these forests was turned into lumber. The middle colonies made items from iron ore by melting down the iron. Blacksmiths melted the iron to shape into valuable tools, plows, kettles, cooking pots, axes, and nails. So blacksmiths were very important to all the colonies, but kind of settled in this area because they had that iron ore. Farmers depended on nearby towns and cities for selling and trading their crops. These market towns were often built near a river or along the coastline that made it easier to transport goods. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania became the largest and wealthiest city in the 13 colonies. So not just in the middle colonies, but in all of the colonies, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania became very wealthy because it was a center for selling and trading things. And like we talked about with those Quakers, they had lots of business partners, people that would sell and trade things that became very famous for being honest and trustworthy, so people relied on them. Many artisans and craftsmen worked in the middle colonies. Shoemakers, cabinet makers, coopers, which were people that made barrels, blacksmiths, and printers, to name a few. Husbands and wives worked as teams in their trades, and when we say trades, we just mean like the skills that they would need to be shoemakers, cabinet makers, barrel makers. They passed down their knowledge and skills to their children and other family members to keep the businesses running smoothly. So the middle colonies really had it all. They had farmland, they had iron that they could make different tools and important items. They had timber from the forest, so they had lumber to create things. They were near the river and along the coastline, so they could ship and sell and trade things. And then they also had all of these people that were really skilled artisans or craftsmen, or people that could make items that everybody need, like shoes and barrels, and printers, so people that would be able to print like newspapers and pamphlets and those kinds of things. And that's also going to become important later when we talk about the American Revolution. So, and it also had the wealthiest city, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, wealthiest city, the largest, wealthiest city in all of these colonies. So now we're going to move on to answering a few more questions in our question page.